What's up, Mr. Williams? This is Jake Takeda from your second period class with my CAP video journal. My group consisted of me, Taimiko, Joseph, and Katrina. Our group's CAP proposal would basically be to implement mandatory drug education into Sacramento high schools. Lately in California, teenagers are acquiring marijuana and other illegal drugs for recreational use, and obviously this is still illegal, and teenagers aren't really aware of the harmful effects these drugs could have. Our group's plan of action would basically be to teach more drug awareness in high school classes. Our group recommended high school science classes because science is, closely related to drugs in the body, and this would create more drug awareness for teenagers, and basically they would learn about what these drugs can do to the body. So for thinking it through, basically our goal is to reduce the number of teens buying marijuana and other drugs illegally, and as well as creating more drug awareness. Our reasoning basically is that these drugs, all of them can be addictive. They can all cause addiction within teens and adults. Also, driving under the influence of any of these drugs can be harmful to not only teenagers, but also to people around them. So for our first civic action, we decided to go on the technological side, and basically me and Taimiko created social media accounts while Katrina and Joseph both worked on making a website. For the social media accounts, basically me and Taimiko, we created a Twitter and a Instagram, and we named them Drug Education for SCUSD. And basically these social media accounts, they provide an outlet for our group to popular social media apps that allow us to spread our policy and as well as enforce drug awareness. Also, these social media accounts helped us plan for future civic actions because basically we could use the social media accounts to help broadcast, flyers, surveys, and also we were able to link our website into the Twitter and Instagram. So some challenges with this would be that, it's hard to get a lot of followers, and it's also kind of tricky to know who to follow and what are, some smart social media accounts that you should follow. But as long as, you just stay active on social media and, keep reposting, drug awareness, drug facts, more people will see it. And, the more people that see it, maybe the more people that will follow. So for our second civic action, I created a petition to, basically have mandatory drug education in high schools around the Sacramento area. The website I used was change.org, which after some research I found was probably the most reliable website you could use to create a petition. So far it has 41 signatures. Obviously we'd like to get more, but it's been a good start. We tweeted a link to the petition using our social media accounts, our Twitter, our Instagram. Also, Katrina put it on the website, so it was good to have our first civic action, kind of use in action with our second. In my opinion, I thought it was pretty smart to, kind of link up these civic actions together. Some challenges that we faced, obviously, is, getting enough signatures to make a convincing argument that our policy, should be implemented. The next civic action we wanted to do was basically set up a meeting with Daryl Wu, our designated school board member, and basically, just try to sit down with him and get, tell him about our policy, what we want, and maybe even try to get it looked at. Also, Katrina wanted to create a survey with data from our school on questions related to drug, education and drug awareness, and we would be able to use the survey as evidence to show Mr. Wu, that our policy should be looked at. So for our last civic action, we originally wanted to, get a meeting with Daryl Wu. However, we were not able to. So we just decided to take matters into our own hands and spread, drug awareness and as well as, continue to create the survey. So we decided to hang flyers around the campus and advocate, drug awareness and kind of state our policy and, just show that around campus. So for the flyer, basically I just split it into two sections. The first section had like a did you know part, which I just provided statistics with on like, the rate of addiction for drugs and marijuana. And then the second section had basically like a why should you care, which I just provided, the effects, the harmful effects of drugs and what it can do to the body. And then like at the bottom of the our flyer, I just had the link to our website in case anyone wanted more information. Also, me and Taimiko during our fourth period class, we were able to kind of show off our policy and our flyer to our classmates. That was pretty cool. Basically, me and Tamiko, we just stated our policy, what our goal was, and why they should care. Also, after that, we just hung the flyers around campus. We started right by the V wing, and then went all the way to the T wing, and the C wing, and basically just hung it up all around campus. Just to try to get kids to see it. So for challenges for this civic action, the big one was obviously not being able to get our first civic action, which basically was to have a meeting with Daryl Wu. So we kind of had to use this backup civic action. I thought that actually using a flyer was pretty smart because we were also able to connect this with our past specific actions on the flyer. We can put our website down on there. We could put our social media accounts. We can also post our flyer onto social media so more people see it. So for the overall reflection of the CAP project, we thought that it was a fun project. We thought it was creative. We realized that our policy, may never get looked at, but we can continue to spread some more drug education, more drug awareness, and hopefully, eventually it will get looked at. We feel like we set the groundwork for future students to pick up our policy and continue on with it and make even more progress than we did. Some final actions we can do are basically just to continue to spread drug awareness, more drug education, and the more teenagers know, hopefully the more smart decisions they will make when it comes to these drugs.